New SSDs could make hard drives obsolete. Hey everyone, Alex Moen here with today's BizTech Tips episode. And for those of you that don't know, an SSD is an abbreviation for a solid state drive. And it does pretty much the same thing as a hard drive, but there are a couple of key differences. So standard hard disk drives, the way they work for reading and writing and accessing memory, there's a little mechanical head unit that goes back and forth really quickly to uncover the data. SSDs, they are able to instantly access that data. So because the SSDs don't have moving parts, they're just inherently better in some areas. So they're faster, they're more energy efficient as well, and they're also more shock resistant. So the biggest downside for SSDs is that they tend to be pricier. And when it comes to big things like server farms, they have some little minor issues there too that have kept them from pretty much all the big boys using them for server farms. And that's really where lots of I think the future is going to lie, especially as more and more people move to the cloud. So there's been an announcement for SSDs operating on a new wafer level. All you need to know about that is that it could up in the way cloud customers and cloud services are run there. So currently, solid state drive capacities are limited by some technical aspects. So it's called ECC. It's just error correcting code memory, and that just helps detect and correct just natural corruptions in the code there. So hard disk drives are much better at that currently than SSDs, and that's pretty important because lots of cloud services, they need to guarantee uptime and guarantee that things aren't going to be ruined when you store it on them, right? But there are some other things, just like solid state drives that are not as good with new level PCI stuff or processing payments. And there are just some other ways with how they string together and all that that make them not as great. But right now, some things that are looking to change that is with this new, again, wafer level SSD. It would do a few things. So they'd be able to run in parallel with less corruption. It'd be easier to manufacture and kind of jumping over my words there, string them together is what I was trying to say there. But overall, the biggest pushing factor is the cost per gigabyte when it comes to having them in server farms. And most server farms get around the issues I mentioned about speed and all that earlier by just operating with RAM, so with DRAM. So they're pretty much instantly accessible just because they have constant voltage kind of going through them. Rather than it actually being stored and never accessed, right? So that's actually been able to get the cost down for hard disk drives when it comes to server farms. But of course, if SSDs are able to get the cost per gigabyte way down, it has all those other benefits. Again, assuming it gets around the error correcting code, which Kioxia has announced that it's been able to design and get something going with all of this as well. So there are no exact due dates for when this is going to be released or anything like that. I would presume from a business strategy perspective that it would be dumb to announce it to all your competitors if you weren't at least close to having it, because now all the competitors can probably realize how screwed they would be, or just how much potential there is if you could upend every cloud company and have them buy your product. It would be a bad idea if they weren't able to launch pretty soon. So although there's no specific date here, I'll let you guys know if I hear anything. But let me know, just as a consumers and small businesses, solid state drives might make more sense for you. And let me know down below if you use solid state drives or not. I'm curious. But have a good one. Until next one, everyone.